Hello and welcome to McGullen's Model Workshop. That's a mouthful. I'm your host, Modeler Phil. As you can see, it's Blackseas. It's a House Rules Quick Reference Sheet Part 2. Unfortunately, sometime last week, I'd just going to turn my volume down a bit. I'd uploaded Part 3. Unfortunately, I set it to public. It should have been private because I'm still working on it, and then I was going to post it up after I've done this one. So without further ado, over the past maybe month and a half, I've been getting a lot of adverts on my mobile phone. Dice companies from the States, showing their wears and tears of, and some fantastic dice, but just a wee bit pricey for me. I mean, I've been collecting dice for quite a long time. I've got all sorts in there, from big wooden ones like that one to 5mm size dice. Put in that box there. Always wanted one specific dice. When this game came out, I was using D8, and with my quick house reference sheet, I use this one, and I also use a D16 because I like using this one more than this one. Anywho, I've always wanted a D36, so whenever a dice company comes up, I go straight into the search engine and I just type it in, and nothing. And one day, it would have been about a week and a half ago, I had this company come up, and I'm thinking, that's not an American. It's a local one, well, UK one. So I typed into it, had a quick watch while I'm a saw technician, and I was bench industrial saws, and I'd finished one, and I would just clean it up, put the strip on it to protect the teeth, and I thought I'd give it make check someone was watching. I quick got on my phone and I had a quick gandy. Well, I went into the search engine, typed in the D36, and Bob's your uncle, I got one. A D36. Yeah, man. I thought, oh my god, when it come in the post, I'm thinking, where's a golf ball? But it's a D36. Now, you can use 2D6s to find your results. So if I show you, say, what we're going to do here, then I don't know if that is a 6 or is that a 9. Nope. Do the 50. Yeah, so if you look there, you roll your 2D6s. You're going to have to colour code one black, one white. So the black one is going to be the top row, and the white one's going to be the bottom row. So what's the top one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you get a 5 and a 1, it's 15. Okay, I don't know if there's a sheet with all the numbers on. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, I think, like it says, did I say this before? It's a mathematical dice. Yeah, I mean, I've been searching for years for one of these and got one. Wow, it's in the it's in the specialized dice section of the menu. While I was on it, I looked through the list, and at the bottom it come up as compass dice. Ooh, I like this idea. Clicked into it, and I got one. As you can see, there we go. If I hold it that way around, you can see. There we go. Southeast and southwest. Yeah, it's a compass dice. D8. Oh, so this now can go into my dice jar. Bye bye. There you go. That's now in there with the rest of them. Oh, now I've got this one, and I've got my D36. I forgot that. So I like this because I like doing a 360 compass. Ooh. Yeah, that'll be a third sheet when I revamp it to get this in. Yes, but I like to use, I mean, yeah, this is Warlord D8, and I use my D16, so I wish this compass dice with the letters was on this one. So dice shop if you're interested in doing a D16 with letters on it. I'd be much obliged. Much obliged? Much obliged. Yeah, much obliged. Yeah. I'm tired, that's what's wrong. So, I leave all the links for this and for this one in the description below. So I hope the dice company or the dice shop has got loads of these, because these are going to go like hotcakes. How much you pay for this? £1. I think got that for £8.50, something like that. And postage is about £3. Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. I'm sure. Oh yeah, yeah. Anyway, so without further ado, let's crack on with the rest of this video, and it's going to talk about the reference sheet, and then part 3 is going to be, as you, if you've already watched it, it's going to be all the maneuvers. All right, and then I'll keep doing the rest of them, and then till I get them all up. All right, without further ado, thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a comment, ring the bell. Ring the bell, do I have it in there? I'm not sure. Yeah, notifications bar, that, all that stuff. And thanks for watching. Chat soon. Bye bye for now. Hello and welcome to the table. I'm just going to pop my headset off. Hang on. Okay, so as you can see, these are my tokens. Yep, I have 8 tokens altogether. The first 2, of course, as you can gather, strike the colours, and then I use this token here to represent the vessel leaving the battlefield or battle area. If I flip this one over, I've got the anchor. If I flip that one over, I've got repairs. Okay. Then my level of sails, of course, is full sails. Flip that one over, battle sails. Flip the light sails over, I've got adrift, which is level sails I've added on. Studding sails, the command captain's orders. Studding sails, flip that one over. I've got in irons, which is also a level of sail. Heaving 2, flip that one over. I've got backing. Tacking, if I flip that one over, I've got wearing. And then for the advanced rules, grappled on one side, and I flip that over, and I've got, for the advanced rules, I have entanglement. Okay, I'd rather use the entanglement because there's a list of them, and I've also got repairs out of that list, and I've used that one for the vessel leaving the area. Okay, and there's no point doing fire ships or deploying oars or sailing in lines because they're just straightforward. Okay, so sorry about the glare up there. I'm sort of like out of my range where my lamp is at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I make these. Don't forget, these are 25mm coin capsules. So if I push these out to one side, get them out of the way. And these are the flags that I've used. So I've placed these on the file section, or in the file section of the Facebook group for Blackseas. And then I've done, these are the tokens. As you can see, everything's on there. So it's a full A4 sheet, and when you convert this, you have to print this at the actual scale, so don't forget that. These tokens measure at 26mm in diameter, as my circle cut was 27. So without further ado, I'm going to, what do I need to make? Oh, I need a French anchor, so I'm going to use that one there, and I'm going to take and cut this one on. Okay, so I'll show you how I do this. So this is the coin capsule. That's 25mm. That's the base. That's the lid. Okay, and then to fill these out, I purchased these 3mm thick MDF 25mm discs. Okay, and they just pop straight inside. But don't forget to smooth off the edge there. Yeah. So I just want to check. I think there's a bump here somewhere. Just felt it then. Yeah, oh, it's there. I've got it. It's just the same spot. So I'm going to pull out my, no, it's not a samurai sword, it's actually a glass nail file. Get these off eBay. I'll leave them in the links in the comments below. And just a quick smooth that down. Do the whole lot. Yeah, and that's it done. What I like about these are easily cleaned. They are glass. And put it back into my little samurai sword cap case, and that's it protected. I'll put that away now. That's it done. So now let's move them to one side a minute, and I need the French flag. So there we go. I'll get my circle cutter. Now roughly what I do is I got there's a lid that comes on this, but I took it off. So about halfway down, there's a little, you slide this in, and then try and eyeball it. So I've got most of the back circle, or the ring of it, inside the circle, and then quickly snap down and pop it out. Unfortunately, there might be a bit of a chip on my blade inside, so it tends to leave a little tongue like so. Then I take a pair of scissors and I gently get them off. And that's it done. So that's ready. That's that one done. And now I need the anchor, which is there. So I cut these sheets in the pairs, okay, so then I can place the circle cutter right onto the very edge, line it all up, and I've got it right near enough correct there, about so, and then quickly snap down, pop it out, that's it done. Okay, so there is a bit of lip on that one, bigger one this time, so unfortunately it's just one of those things. It's easy just to trim off, so I flatten that out, as you can see, the little lip, and then I take the scissors and put them out. Or you could take the whole sheet to a printer's and get him to turn them into stickers. Okay, so that is the way the French flag goes. This is the anchor, and the idea is to put this into the base. Now I'm going to show you another tool that I have. Rather than using my nail or whatever, this is a silicone mold tool, and as you can see, a bit bendy at the end. I use this to push the paper into position. Okay, and then that secures it down, levels it all out, flattens it all out just nicely, doesn't tear it. There we go. Now, as you can see, I've got the anchor facing, I can see it through paper. As you can see, the bottom of the anchor is facing north, and then place my disc on top, and I'm going to take the flag, make sure she's in the right direction, so place that on. Then I'm going to take my lid, and I want to find out where the little half moon is, which is there. I've got it, and I want it facing this way. Close that up, and when I flip this over, the anchor should be there. You get it? You get what I mean? It's easy. Then where that half circle is, that little half circle, I tend to take some super glue, and I just pop a bit into there. Or you can use that extra thinness, Tammy extra thinness, and just drop a little dabble in there. It will run around the side, so be careful. Try and keep your fingers on the top and not near the edge, because it will stick and you'll end up with the fingerprint. Okay, and that's it done. That's how I make my tokens. Okay, hope that was helpful, and I shall catch you later with the tutorials, and I'll show you how all these tokens are made. I'm not putting my tools out of the way, making a right mess at the table or the scene mat. I made myself. Okay, without further ado, catch you in a minute. Bye bye for now. Okay, as you can see, this is the Blackseas quick reference sheet. It's the first half, or the top half of the page. I made a slight error on the one I posted upon, that's on the Facebook group now at the moment, for Blackseas in the file section. What I did was, if I just get my black spot, it's my Rudy Fergus, there we go, and this is what I did here. What I'd done was, I was working on the 16th gauge compass, and I had removed or copied and pasted this area onto the Excel page, and while I was working on it, I forgot to change the order of the compass bearings. I had north as number 1, which meant northwest would have been number 8. I then removed that copy, or didn't delete it. I copied it back over, placed it back onto the sheet that I took it off, and I'd gone and pasted it up onto the Facebook group. And then when I was at work, I downloaded it just to make sure everything was working, and realized I still had north at number 1. It should have been 8. So this is the correct sheet, and now I'm going to change this one on the file section of Facebook group. hopefully in the next couple of days or hours or whatever. And I also made a slight change. So this becalmed part in the wind direction, all vessels use level of sails until fully stopped adrift. Roll on the weather conditions -5 and 6. That's what that means there. So I put it in bold. It should have been roll on weather conditions 1 to 4 and 7 and 8. That's what it should have been. But you understand now what that is for. So you don't roll on this or this. Yes, you can roll on this one here. Okay, so unfortunately, that's what I'd gone and done. So without further ado, let's get down to the next part of the sheet. And this will be 2 seconds. So as you can see, this is the level of sails and the captain's orders. These 3 here, and these are the ones that I've added on. Yes, you'll understand the stacking on Blackseas, but I'll explain how this works in a minute. And we're going to do a little demo for all of these so you see how they work. Okay, so we'll start with, no point me reading out these full sails, battle sails and light sails. You should understand how these work. Straightforward, straight, simple. Now in irons, this is out of your control, whereas this here is in your control. There's a difference. Okay, so let's get back to this one. This is out of your control. So you're at battle sails, you're sailing along, all of a sudden you're now sailing into the headwinds because it's just changed and it's out of your control. All vessels at battle and light sails reduce level sails next move until fully stopped and becomes adrift. All vessels at full sails reduce level of sails until next move until fully stopped and becomes adrift and receives double damage, whereas all the other battle sails and light sails take single damage. Here we go. All vessels take sailor mass damage during until adrift. Roll a 1d3, small, tiny, 1d6, medium, 1d10, extra large and large. Roll for repairs next turn. That's straightforward. Okay. Now then, of course, when you're in nines, you end up being adrift, as I said. So you can click onto the adrift rule, which is down here, and that explains how that works. Okay. So we'll start with that. Adrift. Move in the direction of the wind. Rate of knots is 3 inches. Or the current. Basically, if there's no wind and you've only just got the current, which is calmed, then you travel in the direction of the current, which is usually, if the wind was blowing from north to south, and then it goes so 45 degrees from port side or starboard side, you roll a dice to decide which way you're going to go, which way the current's going to go. And you roll a 1d3, and that will be the rate of knots, the distance that you travel in. If facing into the wind, reverse, rate of knots 3 inches and or turn 60-90 degrees, depending on the vessel. You may shoot with a +1 to hit. Okay? And then anchored. No move. Must face into the wind. Reverse up to rate of knots of 3 inches from the token. And you may shoot with a +2 to hit. Okay? As I said, I'm going to do little tutorials for all the leads, so I'm just going to read through them all first, get to understand it. Studying sails. Extra speed. Now, there's a group in the States, they put on theirs, I think they called it Crack On. And I thought that just didn't sound right. So I did a little research and I discovered it's called studying sails. These are the sails that are, you have on your yards, there's these extra booms and you roll them out and you attach the sails to them. They look like, I think they call them gull wings or something like that, but they're studying sails. So how does this work? You have to roll to do a skill test, and if you pass, you roll a 1d3 and add the result to the rate of knots. If you fail, the sails and masts take damage. So you roll a 1d3 for small and tiny and small, 1d6 for medium, a d10 for large and extra large, and reduce the level of sail. If you're shooting, it's a -1 to hit. Roll for repairs next turn. Straight. Now heaving 2. You've got to understand that to come up with these orders, there's that many, and I try to bring it all down into one sort of small group. Now I have left a video in the comments section below. If you watch that, it's like diagrams, and it's from the 1980s and it goes through it step by step, and I thought I could use those orders or Blackseas, and that's what I've done. Even to, this is a way of slowing your vessel down, because don't forget these things didn't have brakes. The only way you did it, you would set your sheet, so you basically would have heard the term take the wind out of my sails, and basically that's what they did. So how does that work? So you roll a D3, you reduce the speeds, vessel speed to slow down or come to a full stop or becomes adrift. Basically, whatever the result is, you minus that from the speed that you're traveling at, and what's left over is the speed that you're going to slow down to. Okay, backing sails. This is a bit like hard drifting, going around the corner and it's drifting. So this basically, you could use the backing to slide over to avoid head-on collision with another vessel or an island or an object that's in the water. So basically how this move is, this works is you've got to be at battle and light sails. You move, then drift. Move as normal, then drift. Rate knots 3 inches port or starboard side, direct away from the wind. Then move next turn, and you may turn, if you understand what that means. So what's the first part is, of course, is for then move, and then the move next turn is, of course, at light sails, and you may turn at the end of your move. Okay, tacking. This is controlled, so it's split into 3 groups. You've got sailing to headwinds, box hauling, and taking aback. So yeah, you may turn around and say, oh, that's not right, but this is where I come up with it for the game of Blackseas. So sailing to headwinds is a zigzag maneuver at light sails only. Move, then turn 60-90 degrees. Well, you can't. I hear you saying you can. Well, you can, because this game, Blackseas, doesn't allow you to turn your sails or your yard. But in the critical boxes of the sheet, if your rudder gets damaged, then you can't turn your vessel left or right. Basically, you can't turn, but you can, because you can use your sails, but they'll only give you 45 degrees turn or 30 degrees turn. Okay, so that's where that comes in. So you turn your sails and then you use your rudder to get you around the rest. So I'll show you when we do the tutorial for this. You turn into the you turn into the wind and move next turn. Okay, box hauling. This is basically you got to be at battle and light sails only. Move, then turn 60-90 degrees into the headwinds and stop. Then reverse back a rate of knots 3 inches and or remain adrift, or turn 60-90 degrees and then move. Vessels at light sails, move next turn. It sounds a bit complicated, but it's not. Once you figure it, once you see it in the tutorial, then you'll understand. So it's basically you sail, you come along going from with the wind on your starboard side, and you basically want to go back the opposite way you came. So you basically sail into the wind, reverse back, and then you turn, and then you travel back the way you came. Okay, taking it back is the same thing, light sails only. Move, then stop and turn away from the wind 180 degrees in the direction you came and move next turn. Straightforward, straight, simple. Yeah. Now wearing. This is where you can sail into the wind using this wearing as well. So battle and light sails, move, then turn 60-90 degrees away from the wind, then move rate of knots 3 inches and or turn 60-90 degrees. Then move in the direction of the vessel, any direction of the vessel at light sails. Move at light sails, move next turn. Yeah, so get confused then. I've got my contacts in, so I'm struggling to see what this says here at the bottom. I'll just start that again. So battle light sails, move and then turn 60-90 degrees away from the wind, then move rate of knots 3 inches. So you go in a straight line, you're heading south. If the wind's coming from north, you're heading south, so to speak, and then you turn again 60-90 degrees and then move in any direction. Vessel at light sails, move next turn. So there's a comma there, I didn't see it. Okay, that's where I got confused. Right, simple enough. So let's get to the table and we'll see how this works. See you in a minute. Bye for now. Okay, this is the final part of the first part of the sheet. Additional and advanced rules. Ships on fire. Therefore, sailing within 1 inch automatically catches fire. Take a skill test to put the fire out. Pass. Extinguish a fire. Fail. Take D3, D6, D10 damage. Okay. On a roll of 1, the vessel's magazine explodes. Leave a sunken marker or remove the vessel from play. So entirely up to you. Okay, any vessels within 4 inches of the explosion take D10 damage. Ooh, that's nasty. You may choose to gain +2 modifier to add to the skill test. Fail, no change in level of sail, direction or shooting. The vessel's magazine will not explode on a roll of 1. That's okay, cool with that one. Repairs, I have the token for that one. I've seen it before. When a damaged vessel is activated, declare repair action. If a vessel fails, it cannot shoot, change the level of sails, or change direction. Please, level of sails, change the level of sails, what's your mast? Direction is the rudder. A skill test. Pass, repair 1d6 damage points and carry on sailing. Fail, repair 1 damage point only. Oh. It should be you carry on sailing, but there you go. Leaving the battle area, that's where that flag comes in, the flag token, the extra one. Any vessel that moves any part of its base or hull off the table edge is removed from play. Place your vessel marker so it may re-enter at a light sails only. At the same point, then roll a 1d3. It must spend 1d3 turns off the table and may return after the skill test is passed. Okay. Entanglement, which I have the token for. Vessels within 1 inch of another make a skill test, a +2 modifier to the roll. Fail, vessels become entangled and becomes adrift. Okay, so you could use a drift token to show that everything's adrift. Okay. Fire ships don't need tokens for. They do. Ships with hot or in flames or whatever. Board at battle sails, no collision. Wind roll of 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, and add a rudder hit critical token. Any vessels within 2 inches are set on fire. Deploy oars. Galleys and smaller vessels move battle sails within -2 to hit. Sails to oars, 1 full turn, no shooting. Okay. Sailing in lines. This I made a slight change. So the vessel in front, the 2 vessels or more. The first vessel in the line moves at the same rate as the slowest vessel behind. All vessels follow the first vessel 1 inch apart. Your range rule is 1 inch is a 1 inch marker anyway. So you just follow straight lines. Whereas in the rules where you have to move, you use your turn template, and that just does not work. Okay, no matter how hard you try, your vessels will be always out of line. So this way, you can follow somebody, because you're using your sails and your rudders to turn to follow the guy in front, and that's as simple as. Engagement. Large or small vessels must take a skill test, and thereafter to fire upon smaller vessels unless fired upon first. Okay, there we go, and that's it. The first part. Shortly we'll be going to the reverse side of this sheet, and we'll go the next session. Okay, so there's no point me doing tutorials for this one. It is all straightforward. Okay, and that's it. See you next time. Cheerio for now.